Hello, everybody. It's the Fleming Film Show with me, Robbie Fleming, and my co-host for this evening.
JD, your review master, aka Justin Doyle.
Hello, Justin. How are you?
Hey, Rob, doing good. How was your May the 4th be with you?
It was good. It was good. Although my review on A New Hope didn't really get as much views as I wanted, but I'm glad you're here to join me today to rank down the Star Wars films as it's.
That's yeah. We'll do all 11 movies and we'll chat about them and we'll say, why they're in the position that they're in. And yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am going to kick things off. My
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So I wanna preface this with, I'm a fan of movies, you guys. I'm not really nerdy or about much things. I'm nerdy about movies in general. So I take these as movies. I don't take them as what you guys fan out about. I know, I get it, I understand. I'm just not that type of person. So I really
so,
apologize.
so you're not as bad as me then.
Yeah, exactly. And you have your door is a stormtrooper door. Yeah, I'm just not that. I have a shirt. I have a couple shirts because they're movie shirts. But so I apologize if my picks are not what you guys would think.
So you're basing these off entertainment value then.
That's correct. 100%.
Well, whatever floats your boat, I guess. But my number 11 didn't really entertain me as much, and it's Solo, a Star Wars story.
My number 11 is Star Wars Episode 2, A Clone Wars, or The Clone Wars.
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones. Yeah, the Attack of the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's wrong with Solo?
It felt more like a Ron Howard film than a Star Wars film, and I feel like I like the bloke who plays Solo, and Donald Glover was brilliant as Lando, but I feel like the other cast, like Woody Harrelson, Fady Newton, and Emilia Clarke, don't get me wrong, I love her as Daenerys, but I feel like they're kind of pointless. Although I do give Paul Bettany this, he was a great villain, and that was one of the performances I actually liked by him.
Yeah, absolutely. There's also Mr. John Favreau.
Yes, he's the voice of one of the aliens.
Yeah, they always have to. I mean, he eventually came up with the Mandalorian, so good on him. So you weren't really entertained by it. You probably feel like most people where it's not necessary. It is a solo Star Wars story, but it's not a Star Wars normal movie because there's no droids or Jedi's. So, is that what you were missing from this one?
Not really. I just kind of feel like it was kind of all over the place, really. Like they didn't really kind of like have a origin backup. Plus, obviously, Ron Howard was called in at the last minute. And I don't get me wrong, I think Ron Howard is a great director, but I think he should stick with films like A Beautiful Mind and Hillbilly Elegy rather than Star Wars.
Well, some people would say that Hillbilly Elegy was just as much trash as Solo. So maybe he just likes making trash. I love Ron Howard and I enjoy Hillbilly Elegy. And yeah, I like Solo. So I'll be talking about that a little bit more. Anything else?
No, but I'm happy to jump on board with you for Attack of the Clones, so that's my number 10.
Okay. Well, let's just talk about how not entertaining this movie is. It is so dreadful to me. It's like this one, two, and three are they all kind of fall in the same boat where it's very into politics and political stuff. And I find that okay, but for three movies, it's just not as entertaining. And this one was the most boring of the bunch. So it has some scenes in it that are fun, but I just don't really care for it too
The
much.
overall politics of Star Wars doesn't make sense either.
No, none at all. Which is fine. It's a movie. Like what are we? Who are we to say? But yeah, this I do like Obi-Wan Kenobi, of course, and Padme. Um, I like Count Dooku. I think Christopher Lee's a good actor. Plus, we have Sam Jackson in these. in 1, 2, and 3. And who doesn't like a little Sam Jackson? But yeah, out of the second group of 3 movies, I thought this was the weakest. And out of the 11, it's my least favorite for sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad yours was a very safe option.
To start, yeah.
Yeah, to start.
Well,
Yeah.
go
The
ahead.
only that scene where they have Mace Windu and Boba Fett have a fight and he chops his head off. That's probably the best thing about this film. Plus all the scenes that C-3PO are in. Those like the only good bits in it.
Yeah, well, they needed to bring it back because the first one was, they missed all the love from the previous first 3. So it's good to bring back an old face.
Definitely.
Yeah, the lightsabers are cool and stuff. They were able to do more with it and the action, but it's just it was a lot of all over the place, kind of like how you said about Solo.
Yeah, and I'm not really big on Hayden Christensen as Anakin either.
Yeah, I mean he's kind of soft, and he does get kind of menacing in the third one, but yeah, it's just he didn't seem to have like the gusto and the charisma like Mark Hamill did, or it's like a Skywalker does,
Definitely. What's your number 10?
My number 10, sticking in the same era, is Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Darth Maul is amazing. He's one of the cooler, villains out there. But it's just fine. It didn't grasp me. It was just the whole. I was working at a movie theater when this movie was released, and I was a projectionist, and so we were transitioning in from the original 35 millimeter into digital because this was the first movie that was ever in digital. And our theater was crazy. We had 3 showings going, all of them sold out. People lined up around the block. I mean, everyone wanted to be a part of this movie. And I think that's what made it so huge, more than it being like a solid film. We had to get introduced to new characters, or at least to me, because I don't know who these people are. And then, again, try to understand this new politics from we had to just kind of like jump in and understand what was going on, and I just felt like we needed more backstory. But it's a fine film. It's just all the rest are just 2 is the only one that I really just dislike. All the rest I enjoy, just less and less than the others. So yeah, Episode 1's my number 10.
Fair enough. I like it a little bit more than you do.
Yeah. Again, I'm going to be in the minority on these, so don't be mad.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I feel like I'm in a minority because I really like the Phantom Menace because I remember watching it as a kid.
Yeah. There's a lot of 1, 2, 3 apologists out there because they do love them so much, even equally to 4, 5, and 6. I don't get it, but
Yeah. Do you want to hear my number 9?
I sure do. Let me hear it.
My number 9 is Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Nice. And my number 9 is Star Wars Episode 3.
You're not a lover of this prequel trilogy, are you?
It's just not what I don't know. But anyways, Revenge of the Sith, whatever. You guys know the title. Yeah. Anyways, why don't you start with yours?
So I went to see this film on my 25th birthday on the midnight showing. And I felt like they were just throwing in nostalgia all the way through, and they were and they kind of like forgot things. They didn't really wrap up arcs quick, and it kind of felt disconnected from The Last Jedi. And Rose kind of felt pushed to the side in this one, where she was the main character in Last Jedi. I know, I just feel like this is my least favourite one, and it's not J.J. Abrams' fault. I feel like it's just kind of, if he was to do the whole trilogy, it probably would have been a much better trilogy as a whole.
Yeah, jumping around directors really can affect the way that it is, being seen, because the Last Jedi it's so different than 7 and 9, because it's like the coloring's different, the acting's different. Yeah, they add other characters to have them be like more relevant. Yeah, I know, I see that. And on your 25th birthday, you were just disappointed, huh?
I wasn't as disappointed as I was with Attack of the Clones or Solo, but I just kind of was hoping for something a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah, especially to close out the trilogy and like the series, pretty much.
Yeah, definitely. Also, I feel like there were messages in The Last Jedi, which I'll get to later, that weren't really resolved in Rise of Skywalker.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to talk more about that.
So I want to hear about why Revenge of the Sith is your number 9.
Yeah, again, it's not a bad film, and I really do like Anakin going more sadistic in this. Here he's kind of doing this double agent thing with the Jedi Council and Palpatine, and it's just more interesting because now we're 2 movies in, we're a little more engaged with the characters, and also we know that something big's about to happen because we all know that he becomes Darth Vader. So it's just interesting to see the transition. Now we know, that he's Vader. Now we know more backstory. Now it becomes a little more interesting, which is why I like this a little bit more than 1 and 2. But yeah, I gotta say the prequels are just not my favorite, unfortunately.
That's that's fine. I'm kind of 50-50 on the prequels, and I do kind of feel like Revenge of the Sith is a bit high up. Uh, but that's up a little bit later, and I'm going to talk about my number 8 in a sec. Is there anything else you want to say about Revenge of the Sith before we move on?
No, I mean, Frank Oz and Anthony Daniels are in there. It's good to have them around. I don't know. It's again, it's not bad. It's just not my favorite.
Yeah,
I do like the battles in this, and yeah, Yoda and Palpatine going at it is great.
yeah. Right, do you want to hear my number 8?
Lay it on me.
Rogue One.
Well, my number 8 is Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. So yeah, what's wrong with Rogue One?
I don't like how all the characters. Spoiler alert. I don't like how all the characters die at the end.
Yeah, well, it's not a spoiler. If anybody's watching this, they know all Star Wars lore. I'm sure they're not, just people going in blind. But yeah, I mean, it kind of had to happen. It was definitely a shocker, but I just feel like it was, something that we don't see in the other ones. So I don't know. I liked it, that part of it.
Yeah. I mean, Felicity Jones was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, Forrest Whitaker, he was good in it too. And Ben Mendelsohn, he's always good as the villain. And I do kind of like the references in it because it wasn't as forced in compared to Rise of Skywalker. But I do kind of feel like there were kind of nitpicks and flaws with this film.
Yeah, it's dark. It's definitely dark.
The
Um,
robot, the robot, the robot's the best character.
yes, played by Alan Tudyk, so good. He's always elevating voice performances or even acting performances. But yeah, he was amazing in that, and I think if he wasn't in there, there would be no sort of fun in the movie. So it was good to have him in there.
Yeah. So I'm assuming Last Jedi is your least favorite out the new films.
That's correct. But from Jedi on, I like all of these films. But since we're doing a ranking thing, I just had to rank them this way. I love it. I love it. I love the red. I love Kylo Ren. He's one of my favorite characters in the entire series. So I just enjoy that he was able to have more character development and Rey is figuring out, her powers, and yeah, we got more Poe, and we got more Rose in this one, and Finn, John Boyega. So it was fun. I really enjoyed the cinematic like war that they had, especially on that field, and when the salt turns red with those big machines that they're taking down. It's just amazing. It's one of the better fight scenes in any in all of these movies. Is really good. Yeah, nothing wrong with it much. I just like it a little bit less than others, but Ryan Johnson, director there, I think he did it amazing job. It's just a lot different than 7 and 9.
I just have to ask one thing before we move on. What's your opinion on the whole Princess Leia flying in space thing?
Is she like a Thor? I mean, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion, because in this world everything's possible, so I didn't see it coming. I didn't know that's how it was going to be, but yeah, I think the way that they had her ride off was good in the sun, but yeah, it's a little ridiculous, but it's she's a Jedi.
Yeah, I kind of have a feeling that they should have introduced it a little bit earlier on.
Definitely, yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. So what's your number 7 then?
Well, I can pop on to say Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Yeah, I mean, just all the same stuff that we talked about earlier. I do love Alan Tudyk. He's so freaking good in that movie as K250 or 2S0. So yeah, we have Gareth Edwards directing this one. We know him for Godzilla. So, but yeah, I liked it. It's fun. It's dark. I guess I'm more of the dark side than I am any other side. I just enjoy, this. There is a lot of politics in this one too, but thank God it was entertaining, and that robot was around.
Yeah. Also, that scene with Darth Vader at the end, that was pretty cool.
Absolutely. We've never seen him more cool. That's the coolest he's ever been, is that scene. Just to me, I think he's so awesome in that part. But also, yeah, everyone does die. But it also leads us to Star Wars: A New Hope. This was what happened right before A New Hope started, so we got more backstory. It's interesting.
Yeah. I kind of like how Rogue One and Solo and Mandalorian kind of in the middle of the trilogies.
Yes, that has been interesting and makes it more fun.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, would you like to see a prequel that's before Phantom Menace?
Maybe. Well, they're doing Obi-Wan, but that's probably after. Yeah, I don't know, because then it just if it means more of like 1, 2, and 3, I don't want it.
Yeah, exactly. You make a good point.
Maybe a prequel to Rogue One.
Yeah.
We're just adding stuff, like just prequel it.
Yeah. So my number 7 is Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith.
That's what, episode 5?
3.
Oh, Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Good. So why?
So this is kind of my middle point in the prequel trilogy. Like, I don't see kind of the hype for it, but I don't see the hate for it either. It is an entertaining film, especially the scene with Order 66. I mean, you can tell obviously the acting's gotten better in it as it goes along too. And I just personally think that it still makes for a satisfying Star Wars film.
Yeah. It was a good way to close that trilogy out, I thought. It just, it got us ready for Vader. Do you think it was Anakin who was in the Vader costume in Jedi? Or the Rogue One?
I'm not sure because I've heard it was a stuntman who worked on Doctor Who.
Oh, okay, cool. But that would be cool, like a little Easter egg, have Anakin be Darth because he was at that point.
But he is going to be in Obi-Wan as Vader.
Ooh, ooh, cool. And any more about Revenge of the Sith?
No, I'm going to move on to my number 6 pick,
All right, let's hear it.
The Force Awakens.
Okay. Well, hold on to your butts because my number 6 is Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope.
Okay, I can tolerate that as long as it's
All right, talk about yours.
So, Force Awakens I saw twice in cinema. But I don't know what it is. I liked it when it first came out, but the more I watch it, I think because I watched it that many times, I just kind of get bored of it because it's too much like A New Hope.
But you don't think it's like prettier and more elevated and, more fun?
I'll admit I like how Rey and Finn and Kylo Ren are introduced. I like how it brings back Han and Chewie, and I don't like Carrie Fisher's performance in The Force Awakens. I feel like that you could tell that she was ill because she passed away the year after.
Yeah. So you think that her medical condition led her down a bad acting road?
Possibly. I don't know. It's just kind of hard when you see somebody return from a role years after they've done it. I mean, personally, I think Harrison Ford did it better in Blade Runner.
Interesting. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Different characters for sure, but interesting. Do you think he was better? Do you think Harrison Ford was better in Episode 4 than he was in Blade Runner, the first one?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. All right. So you like him as Hans more, but you like the Blade Runner performance in 2049 because he reprised that role.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, obviously that's higher on my list, so I have more to say about that later. Do you have anything else to say about it?
No, I'm intrigued to hear your opinion on New Hope.
Yeah, again, not a bad movie. It's just a little more like boring than 5 and 6, and it's just we got. I know it's huge. It's the biggest movie ever. Like everyone knows Star Wars, and they know A New Hope, and except for these younger kids who aren't into movies too much, they think that 1, 2, and 3 came first, which is ridiculous. But I mean, this movie, it's just it revolutioned, everything else that came out after it. It made everything else come after it seem like it was a parody of this movie. I mean, it's the reason why we're talking about it right now is this movie. So I completely get it. It's just just a little slow. I like when we know more about the characters and they're developed more, which is why 5 and 6 are higher on my list. But not a bad movie. Star Wars, it's legendary. It's bigger than anything. It's bigger than George Lucas.
I think it's the only one that's been nominated for Best Picture.
Oh yeah, interesting. I didn't know. Let's see. I have this. I didn't know none of them, huh? It did win 6 Oscars for art direction, achievement in sound, costume, film editing, visual effects, and score, and it was nominated for Best Picture. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, shame about the film that won.
Much.
Annie Hall.
Ah.
I mean, how is a film about a bumbling idiot moaning about a past relationship better than a film about space woods for children?
You also do love hating Woody Allen movies.
I only really like Midnight in Paris.
Yeah, which is later in his career. That's crazy. I mean, he had one come out every year except for these past few. I think Cafe Society may have been his last one. Or no, maybe he did come out with one last year.
Rainy Day New York was his
Yes,
last
that's
one.
right. That's right. Timothy Chalamet. Yep. And wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. Uh, okay. I'm sure you'll talk more about episode 4 later, so we can wait.
Yes, and I'll be telling you why it's better than Annie Hall as well.
I'll just start with my number 5 if you want.
Go for it.
Because it's Star Wars Episode 5. Um, it's the next one in the trilogy, and yeah, it's not a bad film. It's just I like the others, a lot bit more, I guess. I don't know. What do you? This is The Empire Strikes Back. What do you think about this film? It's definitely higher, but on yours. But what do you like the rebels and everything in this one?
Oh, I love everything about this film.
Because it's your favorite film ever. It's one of your top favorite films ever, right?
One of them, yeah.
Yeah, I know where this is gonna land, and I'm sorry it lands at my number 5. But yeah, why don't you say your number 5, then I'll talk more about episode 5.
My number 5 is something you're gonna hate. It's The Phantom Menace.
It's down there. Yeah, you're right. What? Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that in a sec. So yeah, now this is Luke training with Yoda. This we see these memes. They've been built, for years now. These memes that are on, Twitter or whatever, with Yoda and all of his faces and how he's like, training Mr. Luke. But we also had the parody with the Muppets. He pretended to be Yoda in that forest, in that swamp, training somebody. So I thought that was funny. But yeah, we have everybody back here, and it's for Boba Fett, the Mandalorian, a Mandalorian. He's in there. So I don't know. I like the bounty hunter. So it's a lot of fun. But I know it's
Yeah,
your favorite movie, so we'll just talk more about that later, or one of your favorites.
yeah. So, like I said, I watched Phantom Menace as a kid, and it's always kind of like stayed in my heart. No matter how much people hate on it, it's still not going to change my opinion. I love Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn. Don't kill me for this, but I find Jar Jar Binks hilarious. I kind of like seeing C-3PO's origin, Obi-Wan's origin, and Anakin's origin. And I feel bad for the little boy who plays him because he's has a couple of problems now because of it.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. And he wasn't bad. He was, he's a sweet little kid, and I forget the movie that he was in before that, but he's like a smart guy, he's like a smart kid. So it's really a shame that that's how it went. But yeah, him able to ride around in those hovercraft cars was really cool. The speed
Oh, pod
racers,
racers.
pod racers, yeah. And the double-headed guys that do the calling in that are really funny. I know one of them's Greg Proops. He's a comedian that's on Whose Line Is It Anyway? But yeah, those guys were fun.
It'd be fun if they actually had NASCAR commentators.
But yeah, so you not bad. You were excited. Had you watched 4, 5, and 6 before this one came up?
I can't really remember. I think I did or I think I didn't. I can't remember which one's the first one I watched.
So this could have been your first entry into Star Wars.
And you know what my favourite part about this film is? The whole third act. I love how it cuts to the fight with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul, cuts to Jar Jar just messing about, and then it cuts to Anakin on the really cool yellow spaceship.
Yeah, I like I mentioned earlier, I think Darth Maul is one of the coolest characters, and we got to see the double-sided lightsaber. So, I mean, who doesn't want to see that? That was amazing.
In fact, Darth Maul's appearance in Solo was probably the best bit about Solo.
He had baby horns instead of like they grow bigger, in 3 or in 1. But yeah, they're like little baby horns in Solo.
Yeah, definitely.
What's your
So,
number 4?
my number 4 is The Last Jedi.
Great. My number 4 is Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi.
Nice.
What's up with Last Jedi?
I loved the intro and I loved the ending. There's just parts I really think are flawed, and if these flaws were to be fixed, I think it probably would go up to either third or second.
Wow. Did you enjoy the colors, the vibrancy of it compared to the other two?
Yeah, in fact, that scene you were talking about, where they're all on where Luke and Kylo were fighting, and the bit just before that, that's all brilliant.
Yeah. And how Luke comes through, to where he's at and really to where they are. Jedi style was pretty amazing.
Yeah, yeah, but I
Do you?
feel like, what's your opinion on the casino scene? Because I think it is a beautiful scene with some really funny jokes. But I feel like it's not really needed because they go and meet Justin Theroux, but then they don't meet Justin Theroux. They meet Benicio del Toro, who just so happens to be to hack. Do you
Yeah.
think Justin Theroux could only do that cameo, so they just had him as that cameo and just hired Benicio del Toro to fill that bit?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, everyone got cameos. That's why, like, Daniel Craig was a stormtrooper, and I think Andy Samberg was on there. Like, if you were a fan and you wanted to be in it, they'd put you in it, just however they could. So, yeah, they just wanted to be a part of a Star Wars movie, and they did. I forgot about Benicio. That's good.
Yeah. So I take it Return of the Jedi is your favourite out of the originals.
Yeah. It sure is. It's this one says it's directed by Richard Marquand. That's not true.
Yeah, it is true. George Lucas didn't direct 2 or 3.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, he only directed New Hope and the prequels.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's so crazy. I thought IMDb got it wrong. Who is this guy? Jagged Edge. Wow. Hearts of Fire, 1987. He didn't really do much, so good for him. Maybe that's why people don't really enjoy it as much, right? Because a lot of people don't like 6. They like 4, 5, and 6 in order usually. No, but this is great. This is Darth Vader. This is darkness. This is this is the culmination. Also, don't we get Ewoks?
Yes,
And
yes.
that's why I love this film. Is the Ewoks, because this, when I was a kid, the first time I ever saw any of the Star Wars was Episode 6, and my dad was watching it, and I saw those Ewoks on there, so I just sat down. I didn't understand a damn thing that they were doing and saying or whatever was going on. But it's the movie that I remember the most for sure out of the 3, and I love Han Solo. I love Harrison Ford. I mean, he's one of my favorite peoples out there, and I just love Hans in this. But yeah, Darth Vader giving me more darkness was really what brought me to have this be my number 4. It's really good.
And it's a good number 4.
It's a good number 4 because you're not gonna like my top 3.
No. I can tolerate it. You said it's based off entertainment value. I think some other fans might wanna lynch you for it, but it's your opinion at the end of the day,
I know
as the dude would say.
they're gonna they're gonna take away my movie fan card. You don't deserve this anymore. Well,
Do you want
what?
do you want my number 3 first?
Well, I do, unless you know, you want me to get my number 3 out of the way because you dislike it so much.
No, I want to jump on you with Return to Jedi, which is my number 3.
Oh, okay, cool, awesome. And
Yeah.
my number 3 is Solo: A Star Wars Story.
Okay, we'll talk more about that in a second.
Okay, yeah, let's talk 6.
Right. So yeah, number 6 is still as fun. I can see why people don't like it, but I can see why others prefer it to 4 and 5. It's a good conclusion. And I do like how it utilises not just one, not just two, but 3 villains. 3 villains are in this film, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah, it does make it more difficult. I mean, the prequels had some of that stuff going on where there's more than one villain. But yeah, no, this one definitely had it. Plus, we get to see Princess Leia in that gold bikini, baby. That was a big deal for, you know, people who grew up in the 70s because, you know, she was captured by Jabba the Hutt and then was in that gold bikini. And then, you know, her and Harrison Ford are on that kind of like ship thing. Yeah. So that was also a sexy time for people more my age and older, I think, than your age. But I think, do you prefer Rey?
Kind of. I do kind of have a little bit of a crush for Ray. Don't tell my girlfriend though.
No, it's not. It's never personal. It's never anything against them. It's just, yeah. No, I know. There's always a lot of talk about Princess Leia and that gold bikini. It's even a Friends episode where Rachel dresses up in it.
I remember that episode. That was a funny episode.
Yeah, he's like, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, good pick. It's a good movie.
Yeah. So why do you like Solo more than me?
It's just entertaining. I'm actually happy that it kind of shunned away from the whole Jedi droid thing. Not that I don't love it, but it just was an adventure film. And my girlfriend and I were actually in Paris, I think, at the time, and we went to the Orpheum, and I think that was the name of the theater there, and was able to see it. And we just, you know, they had like reclining seats. You know, it was just a really good movie going experience. I really enjoyed the movie. Yeah, I like the lead guy. I'm not a big fan of Emilia Clarke, but Paul Bettany is one of our greatest actors out there right now acting. If you guys can go see Uncle Frank, I mean, it's just amazing, and he's so freaking good. And Harrison Ford, help me out here. Woody Harrelson, yeah. I mean, he always elevates movies. He's always just kind of placed in a movie. It's like the Hunger Games stuff, and it's just like, okay, I guess he's here. Yeah, he's kind of fun, and he does, you know, drive the movie in directions that you don't see coming. So I don't know. I just had a really fun time with Solo. I really thought it was a fun movie, and I do like Ron Howard. I think he's, you know, a really good director, and it's been proven that. But yeah, Alden Ehrenreich is the name of the guy. Oh, and yeah, and Donald Glover. I mean, we get a little Orlando. You know, he's the best pick. I mean, you could not have cast it better, I think, for that character. And I think people still talk about that, how he was such a good chosen one for it.
Do you watch Atlanta?
No, I haven't seen it.
That's brilliant. Do you listen to any of Donald Glover's music, Childish Gambino?
Well, yeah, because it's on the radio. You're kind of forced, you know. And that "This Is America" song was such a huge song, for at least here. I'm not sure how it was over there, but
Oh, I love the video to it.
oh yeah, it's so cool. It's like one take, and he's just dancing around with his shirt off.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what brought him more into the well-known, that song.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt.
Yeah, but I feel like if it wasn't for obviously Solo and obviously that video and Community in Atlanta, you know, Donald Glover, we all love him.
Yes, yep, we sure do. I like him. I mean, we love him here too. I think he's a good actor. Yeah, because Community was something that he did, right?
Yeah.
Just last thing about Star Wars, um, Chewbacca or Solo. Chewbacca's in it, so we get to see the friendship, how it started.
Yeah. Chewbacca's my third favourite character in this franchise.
Yeah. Oh, cool, cool. I think, yeah, Kylo is probably my favorite, and Darth, but not
Yeah.
Anakin.
Vader's my favourite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Number
Darth,
two
yeah,
is,
Darth Vader and Maul are cool.
and number two is Han Solo. Before we move on to number two, do you like Emilia Clarke in Game of Thrones?
Yes, very much so.
I take it that's the only thing you like her in then.
She was fine in the Terminator movie, but the movie wasn't great itself. But I think that's also where I just was like, I don't like her outside of. It's nothing against. She's a good actress. She's a great actress. It's just I don't. It's her face. It's her face. I don't know what it is. Sometimes when you just look at a person's face, you're just like, yeah. And she's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. But I just for some reason that bleached blonde really fits because her face is like pale. I shouldn't be saying this. This is horrible. I'm so sorry. It's I don't know. I think she's fine. I just don't know why I dislike her outside of Game of Thrones. Not her fault.
I've seen a couple of her work. She was good in Me Before You and Last Christmas.
Yeah, that was an interesting movie. We saw that in theaters. My girlfriend loves Amelia Clark, and she loves, sappy movies. So I'll watch anything. Everything's worth the view.
Definitely, definitely. And my number two is A New Hope.
Yeah, I saw that coming. My number two is Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker. Because
I had a feeling this would be high because I saw your YouTube video on it, and I was like, "Really, Justin?"
Well, I know, and if you do follow me, then you know that was in my top 5 favorite movies of that year. Like I loved the nostalgia of it. I really, really did. It just, people got to see the nostalgia, for 7. They were like, yes, okay, and that's why they like 7 more and whatever. But for 9, it was like you had it this way and that way, and nostalgia is what makes us go back to our childhood and feel like a kid again. So, and the graininess of this movie and that scene on top of the ship in the water with Kylo and Rey, it's the best scene in the series in my opinion. It's just so well done, cinematically brilliant. And we get the conclusion. We get the conclusion here. I don't think people enjoyed it. The conclusion. I don't think people liked the way that Rose and Finn were treated. Finn, John Boyega's gone out and said that he was definitely misused and mistreated on that set. So that's interesting to hear. But no, this is again. When I was in the theater watching it, it was a packed crowd. I don't think anybody had as much fun as I did, and I just really, really enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, definitely. As I was saying, the first time I saw this was midnight on my 25th birthday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good way to celebrate. You were turning 25.
Yeah, it was dead on my 25th birthday. Like, it started at midnight on the 19th of December.
And then you're like, let's go watch some Star Wars.
Yeah,
Okay, tell me all about Episode 4.
this film is legendary. Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford. I think we all know them from this film. And like you said, buddy, we would not be talking without this film. Like, there are some flaws of it. I don't like Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan. I thought Ewan McGregor did him so much better. But I guess without Alec, there would be no Ewan, so I guess it's a good thing. But Peter Cushing, phenomenal. He was perfect as Moff Tarkin, and I just like how everything gets set up in this universe. And obviously, when Luke blows up the Death Star at the end, that's just perfect.
Yeah. Like I said, it revolutionized everything that we know when it comes to cinema nowadays. So, it's a classic, and it will forever be that and go down in history as that. So, um, yeah. It's perfect. It's a great flick.
So the next question I'm going to ask you is: do you prefer Annie Hall or Star Wars?
Yeah, I probably want to see Star Wars again. Probably like two or three times before I wanted to watch Annie Hall again. Not that it's a bad film; it's just entertainment or kind of like storytelling. So, what about you?
Well, obviously, I'd rather watch a film intended for space wars than a film about an idiot moaning about a past relationship.
You don't like that?
Well, I have my own problems. I don't want to see somebody else moan about their problems on TV. And the amount he moans constantly in that film, and he just does my head in.
That's amazing. Yeah. No, I hear you. Do you like him in any other film, or you just hate Annie Hall?
No, I think I'd rather watch a Woody Allen film when he's not in it.
Fair enough. People being Woody Allen, people
Yes,
portraying him in some
yeah,
way.
watch a better actor pretend to be him.
Yeah, I mean he's a director. So
Yeah.
okay, well I think everyone knows both of our number ones, and we didn't line up. I told you we weren't gonna line up.
No, this is like the first time in ever we haven't lined up.
Yeah,
So yours is The Force Awakens,
mine's The Force Awakens, Episode 7.
and
Sorry,
what's mine?
Episode 5. Because you're that was one of your favorite films. Because you and I talked about it recently. We just gave a list of our favorite films, and this was on there. So I knew it was gonna be on there. I knew it was gonna be your number one. Yeah, in Star Wars Episode 7, Force Awakens. I mean, it's that nostalgia. It really hit home. I love Harrison Ford and Chewbacca in this movie. You get a lot of action, a lot of battles, and it is so much like 4, and that's why I said. But don't you think 7's like prettier and more elevated and live and and it to me it was. So I enjoyed it. So that says something to Episode 4, because 7 is biting off of Episode 4. So obviously I enjoy Episode 4 because it's so relevant in 7 and mirrored in 7. So, but yeah, it was a great film. It's crazy how I think that year when Force Awakens came out, it was definitely in my top 10, but it wasn't in my top 5. I don't think. But it's still my favorite out of the bunch, even though 9 came in my top 5 for that year. I guess it says to what happened that year in movies. So,
Is that why you said to me the once that you got more into Star Wars after number 7?
well, I don't know. I guess maybe I did because I liked 7 and then Solo. 8 was great, and 9, was great as well. So it's just my favorite kind of like lot of everything. And then Mandalorian. I'm into all the later stuff. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and I love Mandalorian. I think if I had to squeeze in this list, it would probably go second.
um, yeah, I'd probably have to. I could put it before Solo, maybe. So it'd be like third. I can't put it before 7 and 9 because 7 and 9 are too good.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else about Episode 4?
You mean episode 7?
No, I talked a lot about 7. So if you want to talk about 4 more.
Oh, you mean 5?
Oh yeah, that's right. 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I just love number
Empire
5.
Strikes.
It's my second favourite sequel of all time, number 1 being The Dark Knight. And I just love how it really plays up the stakes of the film, really splits the characters up, really puts them in dangerous situations. And having Luke lose at the end to Vader and also find out that he's blood related to him,
It was a
it's just,
huge reveal.
yes. And that's a brilliant reveal.
That's the one where his hand gets chopped off too.
Yes.
Yeah. That's pretty awakening. Force Awakening.
That's why I'm surprised Rey didn't lose her hand in The Last Jedi.
You just thought they were gonna do the exact same thing? What if she like lost a leg, an ankle or something?
I'd say that would be a little bit more fresh.
Yeah, or maybe, and then she could have a foot saber.
That'd be awesome.
Here we are, writing the fan fiction.
Yeah, but overall, I just think Empire Strikes Back is the masterpiece Star Wars needed.
Yeah. Yeah, his training is a lot of fun. There's no doubt. And Yoda is a great character. It spawned Grogu, which is probably one of the biggest characters ever.
Yes, good old Grogu.
Good old Grogu. All right, you want to run them down?
Yes, before we end today, my number 11 is Solo.
Mine is Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
That's my number 10.
My number 10 is Episode 1, Phantom Menace.
My number 9 is The Rise of Skywalker.
Which is a lot higher on my list. My number 9 is Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
That's a little bit higher because my number 8 is Rogue One.
My number 8 is also the 8 episode, The Last Jedi.
My number 7 is Revenge of the Sith.
Mine was my number 7 was close to your number 8, Rogue One.
My number 6 was The Force Awakens.
My number 6 was Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope.
My number 5 was The Phantom Menace.
My number 5 is the number same Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back.
My number 4 is The Last Jedi.
My number 6 was my number 5 is. Oh, wait, are we on 4? 4.
Yeah.
Is Episode 6, Return of the Jedi.
Which is my number 3.
And my number 3 is Solo, A Star Wars Story.
Boo!
A lot higher, I told you.
Yeah. My number 2 is A New Hope.
My number 2 is Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker.
And my favourite Star Wars film is Empire Strikes Back.
And mine is The Force Awakens, but it's really close to Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, so I think when what we want out of a Star Wars film is different to each other.
Yeah. Well, we like entertaining because Episode 5 was in my top 5, so I think that's a really entertaining, movie.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be boring and just saying the original 3 are the best, but I do like exploring more Star Wars films. I just think that the original prequel is kind of like the original artwork piece.
Yeah, it really did set a tone, and again, it's why we're talking about it. It's why there's a May the 4th be with you day, and we're doing this on May the 5th. No, it's a franchise that is bigger than anything, and it's getting its own Disneyland, Disney World areas. So it's just so damn huge. And as a movie fan, I'm glad they're out there because at least people are talking about movies.
Nice. And I'm obviously glad that Star Wars is still expanding. I might not like what comes out, but I'll still give it a watch.
Yeah, well, so far I've liked what the expansion from Star Wars has happened than what Marvel has happened. So,
yeah.
But I haven't seen the Bad Batch yet, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and obviously we'll talk more about Marvel another day.
Talk about who?
Marvel.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right, we're going to end things here. It was lovely having you here with me today, Justin, and we'll decide what the next episode will be next time.
Can't wait, man. It's always a pleasure. Thanks for having me on. And, go listen to some Cantina music. Put that in the episode.
I don't think they'll let us because of copyright.
Yeah, all right. You're probably right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, until next time.
Until next time, thank you, Justin, and thank you to Patreon members Ben, Sean, and the commentary filmmakers. And it's a goodbye from me. And hope you have a good day. All right. Bye, guys. Bye, Justin.
Bye, Rob. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching and listening.